Let me start by saying I'm an emotional mess right now, and it's all because of the Jade Cargill haters. Seriously, the doubters, the naysayers, they've been on my mind for a while. It's a question I keep asking myself. Why can't people see what I see in her? We've got a situation brewing where Jade Cargill is about to do something massive, something truly special, on a stage as big as it gets. Word on the street, and trust me, it's more than just a rumor at this point, is that Jade Cargill will be facing off against Naomi during WrestleMania 41 weekend this April in Las Vegas. That's right, one of the grandest stages in professional wrestling, and Jade's name is in the mix. She's riding a wave of momentum right now, especially after her dramatic, jaw-dropping return at Elimination Chamber, where she stepped right up to Naomi and made it clear she's not here to play games. Now, let's talk about Jade Cargill for a minute, because her journey is something worth unpacking. Whether it was her time in AEW, her initial run in WWE when she first signed, or what she's doing today, the wrestling fanbase has been split right down the middle. On one side, you've got the detractors, the folks who say she's overrated, overhyped, not worth the ink on her contract. They'll tell you she's all flash and no substance, that she doesn't deserve the spotlight. Then, on the other side, you've got people like me, and I'm not ashamed to admit I'm one of her biggest supporters, who see something entirely different. We see potential. We see a woman who could climb to the very top of this industry. Someone with world championship abilities, world championship potential, and that rare, intangible it factor. She's got charisma, a unique look, and imagery that screams superstar. She's the kind of talent who can carry a company on her shoulders. But here's the thing, despite all the success she's already had, despite the undeniable buzz around her, there are still those haters out there who refuse to give her credit. Let's look at her resume for a second. In AEW, Jade Cargill was a standout. She held the TBS Championship, a title she wore like a crown, and she made it mean something. She didn't just show up, she dominated. Then, when she jumped to WWE in 2023, they didn't treat it like just another signing. They made it a big deal because it was a big deal. They paired her with Bianca Belair, one of the most electrifying women in the business, and together they became two-time women's tag team champions. That's not a fluke, that's not luck, that's a wrestler who can hang with the best and come out on top. Yet, even with all that success, even with the fanfare from her supporters, the doubters persist. They're in my comments, they're on X, they're everywhere, saying Jade Cargill can't do anything right, that she's overrated, that she's just a hype machine with no payoff. Well, I'm here today to set the record straight. No, she's not overrated, not by a long shot. I've heard this saying a million times in wrestling, and I'll repeat it here because it's the truth. You can teach a lot of things in this business. You can teach someone how to hit the ropes, how to execute a suplex, how to sell a move so the crowd feels it in their bones. You can teach in-ring psychology, how to pace a match, how to build drama. Heck, you can even teach someone how to cut a promo, whether it's reading from a script, working off bullet points, or just riffing until it clicks. But there's one thing you cannot teach, one thing that separates the good from the great: charisma. And Jade Cargill? She's got it in spades. Charisma isn't something you can fake or force, it's a natural gift. And Jade walks into every room with it radiating off her. She's got what Vince McMahon used to call the airport test. Back when Vince was still running the show, he had this philosophy: if a talent could walk through an airport and make the majority of people stop what they're doing, turn their heads, and stare, then you've got something special. That's your sign that someone's different, that they've got star power baked into their DNA. Jade Cargill passes that test with flying colors. She doesn't look like anyone else in WWE. She doesn't look like anyone else in all of women's wrestling, period. Her presence is commanding, her height, her physique, her aura, it's all one of a kind. She's a walking highlight reel before she even steps into the ring. Sure, I'll admit it, she's still green. She's not out there having 5-star classics every week. And Dave Meltzer isn't writing sonnets about her technical prowess. But wrestling isn't just about chain wrestling or mat clinics. It's about connecting with the audience, making them feel something. And Jade does that every time she's on screen. She might not have the most polished moveset yet, but what she does have is potential, tons of it. She's got the potential to be a main eventer, to headline shows, to carry a title and make it mean something. She's got the potential to take all the doubts, all the negativity, all the snarky comments from the haters, pile them on her back, and rise above it all. That's what separates the good from the great, and I believe she's on her way to greatness. when Jade Cargill made the leap from AEW to WWE in 2023. Fans knew one thing for sure: this was her golden ticket. WWE wasn't just signing her to fill a roster spot, they were signing her to make her a star. They saw the potential from day one, and they've been reminding us of it ever since. Think about how they introduced her. When she signed in November 2023, it wasn't a quiet announcement buried in a press release. It was a spectacle. Then, when she made her main roster debut in the Women's Royal Rumble in January 2024, she didn't just blend into the pack, she stood out. Remember how Raw, SmackDown, and NXT had a bidding war for her services? General managers like Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were practically begging her to pick their brand. Come to Raw, come to SmackDown, come to NXT. Why do you think they did that? Was it just to kill time on TV? No way. It was a message to the fans: this woman is different. She's special. She's someone you need to watch. That's been the story of Jade Cargill's WWE run from the moment she arrived. They've positioned her as a cut above the rest, and they've backed it up every step of the way. From her debut to her tag team success with Bianca Belair, to the way they booked her return at Elimination Chamber, it's all been calculated. And let's talk about that presentation for a second, because it's a huge part of why she's so undeniable. Her entrance music? Iconic. Her entrance itself? A production that demands attention. The way she carries herself, the way she dresses, everything is meticulous, down to the finest detail. It's all pre-planned, all laid out to make her look like $1 million, because that's what WWE sees in her: money. They're not just hoping she succeeds, they're banking on it. So, to all the Jade Cargill haters out there, all the doubters who keep chirping about how she's overhyped, let me assure you of this: WWE has given her every opportunity to shine, and they're not stopping anytime soon. They don't want her to fail, they want her to soar. She was the first woman to jump from AEW to WWE, a historic move that put her on the map in a whole new way. In my opinion, she's one of the biggest potential stars in women's wrestling today. She's got the tools, the look, the charisma, and now the platform to become absolutely incredible. WWE sees it, and they're not shy about letting us know they see it. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. After splitting from Bianca Belair, Jade is stepping out on her own. She's about to embark on a singles run, and this is her moment: sink or swim, put up or shut up. That angle at Elimination Chamber, where she came back and set her sights on Naomi, wasn't random. It was the spark of something big. I've got a strong feeling, that Jade Cargill is about to make the leap. She's going to transition from a tag team standout to a bona fide main event player. The haters will be proven wrong, and I'm ready to put my prediction on the line. Jade Cargill will be a world champion within the next 12 months. You heard it here first. I know not everyone will agree with me, and that's fine. Wrestling's subjective, passion's what fuels it.